scanner? Not sure? So you will be after watching this video. So in this video, I want to first talk about the characteristics of a scanner or multi-potentialite, also known as Renaissance souls, or in German, Multitalent. So I will give you also at the end a quote from the scanner's Bible, and I'll just talk a bit about advantages and disadvantages of being a scanner. So you're probably a scanner if you have many different interests and passions that you're obsessed with, and then maybe after a few months or so you abandon, you're done, you got what you wanted from them, and you move on to a new obsession. If you're extremely curious about many different subjects, if you are allergic to the word specializing, specialization, because it sounds limiting and boring, and you'd rather just live on a bench than specialize and do one thing until you'd retire, or for a few years even. If you sometimes feel like a failure because you don't want to succumb to the society's pressure to specialize, if you feel bored with repetitive work, for example, administrative assistant is not your dream job. I did it for 6 months and I survived, and I just couldn't believe that some of my colleagues did it for years, and it was well paid, everything was fine, but it was just repetitive and boring. So there is such thing as bore out. You can burn out, but you can also bore out. And that's what happens to me. So you're probably a scanner if you're working on multiple passions or projects and hobbies at the same time, or if you're reading multiple books, if you have 100 tabs open on your computer and they're all really important, you can close any of them. If you're like experimenting instead of following rigid rules, if you, as soon as you start getting good at something, you lose interest. You move to another skill or another obsession. So you normally lose interest before the financial rewards come. That's what happens to me. So yeah, but even if you do become a master expert at something, you still don't want to do it. You don't want to use that expertise. You want to learn new ones. If your resume has 50 pages, you might be a scanner. If you don't like recruiters and they don't like you because they're trying to put you in a slot, they want to see that you are one thing and that you've always been that, and that's the only thing you want to do. I've been to a LinkedIn workshop, and that's exactly what they told me. So if you feel you don't need to... Now, if you feel you need a couple of lifetimes to do everything that you want to do, if you don't want to commit to just one career because there's so many things you want to do, and you tend to do entry-level jobs because they're easy to get and they're easy to leave relatively. Quitting is never easy. Oh, sorry, Mark has read. Unless your boss is an asshole, then it's easy to quit. But yeah, I don't like quitting, but well, I have to. I've had between 60 and 100 jobs in 11 different countries. Not good jobs mostly. And yeah, that's the scanner's thing. Not all scanners, I guess, but that's what I've been doing. I'm not happy with my professional life. I'd like to be a successful entrepreneur, but I don't think that's for me. I think small scale entrepreneur, yes, but I don't want to worry about employees and investors, and if I'm going to be able to, give them back their investment. No, that's not for me either. But some scanners might do that. So anyways, we are not 9-to-5 types in any case. Most of the time, that's not scanner's thing. So yeah, scanners don't like to, we don't like going back to what we already did before and where we went before. So been there, done that kind of thing happens to us. I do like coming back to Spain. It's my favorite country. And I do like come back always to painting, but I wouldn't want to do painting full time. Did it for a while, my back hurt, and yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. It comes in like periods when I paint and I create my collection, and also what marketers or art managers would advise you to is to paint in one style so your style is recognizable. But no, I can't do that. I paint in collections which are all different from the previous one. Even if I would guarantee to sell better if I painted the same thing in the same style, I wouldn't do it because no, I'm a scanner. So yeah, that's basically, I think you got it. So we like learning for the sake of learning, like studying different subjects, discovering things, following your normally oversized curiosity, rather than doing things for the sake of career and money. You might have been told if you're a scanner that you have a commitment problem. I personally don't. I love commitment. I want to commit to everything. Yeah, it does transfer to private life, so I'm into polyamory in theory, but in practice, I don't have the time. So what else? Yeah, you're normally not committed to one career, and you normally accept jobs that are below your level of education and capabilities because, yeah, I already said it, I think. Anyways, disadvantages. So in my opinion, the main disadvantage of being a scanner is the making a living thing, because that's not easy for us because we can't stick to a job most of the time unless it's, I don't know, extremely interesting job and with a lot of variety, maybe, but I haven't found that job yet. So if you find a way, that's should be a priority, find a way to make a living as a scanner so you can scan away and make a living in a way that you still have time and energy for all your other passions and hobbies. So I haven't found it yet, hopefully will. Yeah, what I'm currently doing is just changing jobs, but I'm looking into seasonal work. This time, I'm not sure how long I'll do it, but I see caregiving as an option, and I'm gonna do this year because that's a job that you do like for a month or two, and then you are off for a month or two, and in that off time, you have really plenty of time to work on the other projects. I would be living in a van, as I said in my first video. Let's see. I think that will be good for a while. As a scanner, you accept that like nothing is permanent, only change, and that's fine. So there's no perfect city or perfect country. There's only change. Everything is temporary. So other disadvantages are, so you might have difficulty finishing projects if for some reasons you want to finish a project, if you have to for work. But I think scanners, unlike ADHD, people don't have trouble finishing a project if they have to. So you might feel overwhelmed and decision paralysis because you have all this things and passions you want to do. You might feel that you don't belong because you're not a specialist, you can't have a job. You might feel boredom in relationships and friendships. Yeah, okay, that happens, but that's another video. You might feel like a failure, and because the secret of success is persistence and sticking with something until you succeed. So persistence, patience, not the scanner's strengths normally. You might feel guilty for quitting jobs, changing paths. Yeah, I had to quit jobs a lot. Sometimes it was really easy because there are many bosses that are assholes, but sometimes it's not. So the shortest job lasted for 20 minutes. The boss was coming every 5 minutes asking, "Are you done yet?" And I was like, I just got up and took a key of the office and went to his office and said, "Sorry, I can't do this." It was in English because it was in Canada. And I walked out, and my colleague was smoking outside. He said, "Oh, I know what he's like. We have to keep up with him. No, we have to tolerate him," something like that. And I said, I don't have to," which I don't know where I got that from, because I really didn't have money for my room, and I didn't know anyone in Canada. But I walked home, and on my way home, I found another job that within a few weeks, I got the rent money for the next 3 months. Yeah, guilt for changing paths, time management struggles, which I don't have at all. I just don't have time for a full-time job or for kids. I'm fine with time management. Advantages. So I want to focus on the positive. That's my personal development goal these days. Developing optimism and focusing on the positive. So being a scanner has a lot of advantages if you cover the making a living part. For example, we get to have interesting, exciting lives full of adventures and new experiences. Like we can write a book or get a movie done following the book about our interesting lives, because we have all these different experiences and adventures, and we can put more lives into one, basically. And in my book, that's a successful life, because I wouldn't want to have a life like Warren Buffett has, like living all his life in his hometown, working with same people, doing the same thing. That would be a nightmare for me. So I like Warren Buffett, but no, I would feel like I would be miserable. And when you're miserable, that's not really a success. So scanners we have to have our own idea, our own criteria of what success means. For me, being rich means being time rich rather than material rich. Okay, money can buy you time, but you can also buy time by being frugal, basically. Because for me, scanners can also get rich. They can combine all their passions in profitable ways. They can be entrepreneurs, like Richard Branson started 400 companies. So yeah, it's possible for a scanner for sure. But if you're not Richard Branson, like I'm not, and it would be too stressful for me. I just don't have those balls. So you can also be frugal. You can work part-time. You can do seasonal work. We can do portfolio work, like be freelancers, just change jobs. Though that's not sustainable, I have to admit. Anyways, yeah, I need to be rich with time, because most of the things that I enjoy, that I need, like walking in nature, reading on my hammock below trees, walking on the beach, even in the winter, because I'm sensitive. I really have bad time with cold weather. Believe it or not, that can also be very cheap. You don't need to spend a lot of money to be in the warm weather all year long. Most of the time, most of the things I enjoy are free or cheap. So I can even do it with part-time. Although nowadays with this housing crisis, it's getting harder to live on a part-time job or seasonal job. But still, if you live in a van or a tiny house or share a house with friends, that's very doable. So yeah, other positives are, note this down, this is for your resume. Fast learning and adaptability. So we tend to pick up and learn things quickly because we're smart and talented often. We adapt well to change. Nowadays, most jobs require a lot of learning, and that's awesome for scanners. So we have curiosity, adaptability, creativity. Yeah, so because we know about different subjects, because we're just curious and we learn, we can connect different fields, and we can create innovations like for example Leonardo da Vinci, who combined art, anatomy, and engineering. So we can make some breakthroughs, or we don't have to. We can bring fresh perspectives into industries, find new solutions, see patterns that others don't necessarily. We are passionate and curious, so we never get bored. You constantly discover new interests, and if you're interested, then everything and everyone is interesting, which is great. It makes your life interesting, for you at least. So yeah, we have a sense of wonder. We enjoy learning. I already said it. So we can see the career thing and like inability to do 9 to 5 as an advantage, because you're kind of forced to be an entrepreneur or to be a freelancer, or to just come up with different ways of making money. So in that way, we can make more money than people do with 9 to 5, because 9 to 5 are normally made for surviving, like living from salary to salary. And we are forced to find an alternative way or ways to that, which is good. When you're forced to do something to survive, you do it. So yeah, we tend to be more, that's why we tend to be more independent and self-sufficient, because we are forced to find a plan B to 9 to 5. So yeah, that's it. That is it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.